you know, I think, like I looked it up, and it's you're right. 2006 is when
Yeah.
the Onimusha whatever.
Yeah. 2 or 3, whatever it's called. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Dawn of Dreams was
Dawn of Dreams.
2006. Yeah, that was the.
So I'm totally looking forward to this one. I'm gonna be an Oni guy for sure.
Hey, listen, this
You
check out,
mentioned
yeah, check out
you
one of those
mentioned Resident Evil in that, and I do want to say I got to watch a Resident Evil play session. Now, funny enough, they showed us a pre-recorded Resident Evil thing on the wall around us. A very, very limited amount of press could actually get their hands on the demo. It's going to be on at Gamescom. So, but I'll kind of explain, and I'm just going to let this video play in the background. This is the trailer. What they showed us was right after Grace sort of awakens, she's sort of hanging upside down on this medical chair, this gurney, and all sweaty, like they show at the end of this video. It sort of takes place after this, and she has to make her way out. So she's like grabbing certain things, kind of cutting, moving around, and then she finally gets loose. And because she has no real combat experience, and again, I don't know if there's going to be other characters. That's one of the rumors that there's going to be other playable characters. At least what they showed us of her, she's not a combat person. She doesn't know really how to fight. She is trying to survive and escape this like strange mansion or this facility that she's dumped in. So it is a complete return to survival horror for Resident Evil. And so it kind of goes up and down. Resident Evil does over the different iterations. Some are more action, some are more survival horror, some are just pure action, some are a mix of both. This demo leaned very heavily into survival horror. She gets up, she's walking through this house. There's just long hallways, dark hallways. You'll get like a flash of like lightning or thunder. You'll get really cool lighting effects as the light is coming through like slots in the blinds. You'll get the red light from other rooms kind of peeping in. And then as she's walking through this facility, trying to figure out where she is and what's going on, doors are locked. And she comes up to a door, very Resident Evil-ish door, by the way, in that you do not have the key. And it really has sort of that old Resident Evil viewpoint of the door now. Pretty funny. But she finds a sort of exit point that's sort of this gate, but the gate doesn't have enough power. There's a fuse missing on one of the gates, kind of fuse boxes. So you automatically think, okay, she's got to find this fuse box. So she's looking, or the fuse, she's looking around for an extra fuse. She's going into different rooms. There's a medical room here. There's a bedroom over there. There's a bathroom. And she makes it to, and she's like turning lights on if she can along the way until eventually the lights go out. She does manage to find a lighter, which is another staple of the series. Finds a lighter, flips it on, and now is able to start looking around different areas. She gets to this storage room, and this part was amazing. Gets to the storage room, and as she's like looking, she sees like what looks like a dead body on the ground. She checks the body, and she's like, yeah, this body is dead. And as she's like examining this body, as the person in first, is examining this body, this giant hand comes out of nowhere, grabs the body, and just like people were hooting and hollering in this little demo room because everyone's like, it was a cinematic jump scare instead of just a monster jumping out of your way, right? So his hand grabs it, pulls up the body, and this ginormous mouth just opens and crunches the head off this body. And everybody at that point is like, oh, fuck, she's fucked. We're fucked.
Yeah.
So Grace starts running, trying to get away. This big lumbering giant beast, there's always got to be a big monster, is like slowly lumbering towards her and can't open the door here, opens the door there, finally gets to a bedroom and like gets far enough away where she can shut the door behind her and like runs off into the corner and just waits to hear this beast go by the door. And that's her cue to know it's like, okay, I'm a little more safe. I can get back out there and try to, find the key and do this. It's a very Capcom thing. Yeah.
I don't think Capcom wants the Death Stranding 2 player playing as
right. yeah, she ends up going back to the supply room. She finds a toolbox, grabs like steps on a cart, grabs like a crowbar or something, or a screwdriver. Yeah, finds a screwdriver, goes back to another room that had a fuse box available, or has that fuse available, unscrews opens the door of the fuse box, takes the screw out, or the fuse out, sorry, heads over to the gate. And as she's putting the fuse in the gate, here comes that beast coming around the corner. So, yeah, it's cool. It's like stuff is breaking, things are like popping behind her as she's running. It's just a lot of like animation, like horror animation. The plaster on the walls is chipping as she's. It was just so cool. And then at the very end, demo, like, we have one more thing, and then they pause it, they go to the title screen, and they go back in, and it's like goes into third person mode. And everybody freaking lost it as Resident Evil in third person mode. Everybody lost it in the freaking in the theater, because that really does change how you approach a game going in the third person. It makes it more of an action style.
So is that the whole game is going to be either playable in
yes, Yep. So really cool demo. I was, again, it was hands off. We could just preview it, but definitely something that I always, same thing with like other games. I circle back to Resident Evil every few times, and this looks sick. Like, it was the Resident Evil game that I was really hoping that the last couple were going to be. I mean, Resident Evil 7 had a little bit of that horror, but then you also had just the weird puzzles like all over the place. Didn't have any puzzles in this except finding the fuse and unscrewing it.
I can assure you that this game is going to have those weird puzzles in it. I there is no doubt in my mind that this game is going to have Resident Evil.
Well, in almost sense, like from the way that you described it, that at least in that demo, it's like instead of like maybe like fully involved puzzles of like, oh, go find these 13 pieces, and like put it in here. It's almost like, okay, you've got to go get this lighter and this switch, and oh my god, this thing's behind you, so you gotta do it quickly. So it's like, it's less of like, these intricate, like, I've got to use my mind for these puzzles, because it's like, oh no, like, I've got to use half my brain to worry about the thing chasing me, and half my mind to where's the tools.
There was the level of, like, the tension was awesome. Like, it was palpable. You could taste the tension in the room, and I always love that level of, it just, the room felt like musky, it was just really cool. Very, very cool.
That's like, Resident Evil 7, like, all of the promos for Resident Evil 7 was just like the opening 2 hours of that game at best. Like you get out of that house pretty quickly. And after that, the game sort of turns into your bog standard Resident Evil, like, still people are chasing you, you're still having to hide stuff, you're still solving weird puzzles while an old lady stalks you.
But you got a gun now, so
yeah.